Everybody, we are here with screenwriter Anna Kent, and she has a film that's got quite a bit of buzz going on right now at Sundance called Run Rabbit Run. It premiered last night at the Egyptian Theater and has a few more screenings. But Hannah, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm a little bit jet lagged, but I'm super excited to be here. I mean, what a privilege to be at Sundance. It's incredible.
Right? Okay, so did you fly in from Australia or?
I did, yeah, I did a few days ago. Very long flight, three flights in total. But no, so absolutely worth it to be here. My luggage was lost, so there was a little bit of me being in Park City amongst all this snow in my, Australian summer wear, but that's okay. We found it in the end. So no,
Right,
it's
because things are reversed over there. It's like
yeah,
it's freezing cold here. It's
yeah.
hot there.
We're in a
Okay.
heat wave down there.
So, listen, can you tell us about Run Rabbit Run?
Yeah, sure. Run Rabbit Run is a psychological horror film directed by Dana Reed, starring Sarah Snook, the amazing Sarah Snook, which is really about a woman, a fertility doctor, whose daughter starts acting a little strangely, and this is really a catalyst for her own unraveling as a mother. It sees the emergence of a lot of her own past history, a lot of unaddressed trauma, her own concerns about who she is and how she is as a mother, and yeah, it's a pretty intense film. It's a pretty uncomfortable film, and it was an absolute joy to be a part of the production and the project.
That's amazing. Yeah, so what in particular inspired the idea for this story?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story because I'm sort of known in my home country and in the US as a historical novelist. I'm used to just going off and spending 3 years by myself and popping up with a book. But I was really excited to collaborate when I was approached by Anna McLeish and Sarah Shaw, the producers of at Carver. And they really approached me because I think my work has a visual sensibility, and they, were interested to know if I was ever keen to write film. And we had this we had this pitch meeting where they very patiently sit through an abundance of terrible pitches, which were basically all my failed short stories. And at the end of that meeting, they were like, well, very polite, let us know if you ever think of anything else. And as we were finishing up our coffees, I started talking about the next book I was thinking of writing. I was really interested in these true stories of children who report previous lives. There's so many which have been documented and they're fascinating. But I was interested more specifically in examining what that would be like as a parent, to have this beautiful close relationship with your child who then suddenly starts asking for their other mother,
Mm.
who starts missing people that you don't even think are true. And it was that conversation which then led us into, I guess, a deeper conversation about the ambiguities and complexities of motherhood, of what is taboo about being a mother, of the ways in which our own relationships with our own mothers, with past experiences, past traumas, the ways in which we all sort of, there's not necessarily a lot of room sometimes to have a great deal of discussion about the ambivalence and fear, which can sit at the heart of so much of the experience of mothering a child. And then once we sort of decided to include a rabbit, this rabbit, which is so now an integral part of the film, as this symbol of both sort of pestilence and plague, which it is in Australia, and also as a victimhood of vulnerability. Then we started to really drill down into these elements and these conversations we were having about ambivalence, about trauma, about what it is to perceive yourself as a monster, about culpability, all of these things that we were interesting. We were able to sort of go in deep and also push it into the horror genre, which we thought would be a really great space to explore the more abject, I guess, themes that we were interested in.
Right. And yeah, because the horror genre does lend you to lens things a certain way and explore them in a certain way.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
is why it's my favorite genre. So uh you obviously you're known for right, and you kind of answered my next question about how you chose to dive into screenwriting as
Mm.
opposed to novels. But can you kind of tell me how you approached this project uh as a screenplay as opposed to sitting down like you said for 3 years and then popping up with a book?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm having the experience at the moment of adapting some of my novels for screen, and it's completely different. I think what was so wonderful about this project was that it was built around these conversations that I was having with, Anna and Sarah, that I later had with Dana. And it felt very organic, the way that the film developed. We allowed it to sort of unroll. We weren't trying to force it into genre, at all. That sort of it was its natural home by the time that we established character. But really, it was conversation about character, conversation about experiences of motherhood, conversations about those deep complexities inherent within those experiences of parenting that no one really talks about.
Mm.
So, it was always, like I said, always going to be a screenplay. We knew it was always going to be for film. So the process of writing it for me was initially an uncomfortable one, because I've never really, written for screen. But Anna and Sarah had this, they immediately put my fears aside by just saying, just write this as a novelist. So I had this really weird, uncanny experience of being able to do a lot of big print, for example, to really describe what I was seeing. Obviously there's the dialogue and everything, but in terms of, I was able to bring my same process of establishing character and building plot from, a deep sort of excavation and exploration of character to the screenplay. So it was always character centric, and the plot unfolded as part of that exploration. So that was really gratifying, and I'm really grateful. I remain very grateful for being able to approach it like that, because I think it's maybe not necessarily conventional. And they also obviously allowed me to do, to sort of acquaint myself with the industry and do some of the more conventional aspects of producing a screenplay and the supporting documentation as a process of that. But yeah, it was slightly back to front. The conversation about character started immediately, and then, worked out seeing what a scene outline was, several months down the track. So yeah, it was a really, really lovely way to be welcomed into this industry, and to be able to bring, I guess, my own strengths and habits as a writer to the screen.
Excellent. So you got to work with Diana Reed.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dana Reed, yeah, amazing.
oh my God. So, what did she do with the material? What unique elements did she bring to it that maybe you weren't aware were even there?
I think with Dana, we had lots of really great, sometimes vulnerable conversations about the same conversations we've been having the whole way through, what it is to be a parent, what happens when you're terrified of hurting your child, what if you accidentally hurt your child, all of these sorts of things. What is it like to have an ambivalent relationship with your sister or a brother? So we were able to continue that conversation, and then bring the things that we were interested in back into the later drafts of the screenplay. And I really appreciate the honesty that Dana brought, and I guess the personal experience that she also brought. I mean, none of us have done what Sarah does in the film. Let me say that we're all parents, and we're all sort of interested, I guess, in what is never discussed in parenting. But Dana also, I think, had this fantastic knack of really knowing when we needed to drill down hard. And I think she also did an incredible job of moving the script more firmly into genre. So I'd get these great notes from Dana saying, we need another thing here. We need to sort of sit with this discomfort. And then she'd say, but I trust you to go think of something. So, I mean, massive amounts of faith too in me, which was hugely gratifying and really exciting as well, to be able to come back and be like, this could happen, or this could happen, or why don't we do this? And she would be like, let's put it in, and we'll keep going, and then maybe we'll take something out. So the script was always this very malleable, exciting, ongoing document, where I didn't feel like I ever had to, we weren't ever going, oh, that's going to push us out 5 pages. We can't do that. It was just like, let's put it all in, and then let's see what works. And we kept on coming back to character. And I think Dana had a real, interest in Sarah, the character too. So that really benefited the screenplay. But I mean, she's amazing. Dana is amazing, and such a lovely, lovely person to work with. Everyone on this film is just so bloody lovely. They're just sweethearts, and and just so intelligent, and it was just such a great sense of this, vibrant, creative space. All these incredible women involved too. An incredible opportunity, really.
Dana Reed, excuse me, but like, it sounds like it was such an amazing, fulfilling experience because you had people that trusted you to dive into their world, and they guided you and kept you
Oh,
kind of on the rails. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I haven't studied screenwriting. Yes, I've got a lot of experience. I've got 10 years of experience as a novelist, but so as you say, to have that faith and that trust placed in me, and for them to be available to when I had questions. There's been so many times where I've said this is going to be a really stupid question, but they've been very receptive to all of my very dumb questions. And I mean, that lets you learn really fast, right? You can ask all the dumb questions and then you get on with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I guess
yeah,
when you're learning, there are no dumb questions. So, uh,
that's
you
difficult.
know, but so it was received well last night.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think my highlight was hearing, during one of the scarier moments, hearing someone, just this little voice pipe up saying, "Oh no." It was, it was just this moment of just pure fear,
That
which I
was exactly what you're going for.
it
So, so also there's a screening in Salt Lake City tonight,
is.
and then another screening at Redstone on the
Yes,
21st, one
yes.
at the Ray Theater on the 26th, and
Mhm.
Rose Wagner Center on the 28th back in Salt Lake City.
Fantastic.
So, my advice, everyone, is to catch it because, I'm hearing things. So there's a nice bit of buzz.
Oh,
So,
I hope you enjoy it.
yeah. So, Hannah, thank you so much for coming on and for talking. And please enjoy Sundance for me. Um, and yeah, best of luck on this release. Keep going. It seems like you're getting a knack for screenwriting. So let's see some more stuff.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.